Hello, yogis. How are you doing today? Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for landing at My Dharma. It means the world to me that you are here and that you are doing the free trial or that you have a membership. I am ecstatic to have you here. So today we are going to do a much needed yin class, which I'm so excited for. I'm in definite need of a yin class. I have been filming a bunch of content for this website. So it's been like 7 days in a row of doing power flows and vinyasa flows. So I am really excited to dive into a nice hour-long yin practice. I do recommend that you do have some props for this practice, but they don't need to be the traditional yoga props. So if you do have a bolster and blocks, that's great. But if you don't, you can use a pillow, a blanket, things like that in lieu of blocks. We don't necessarily need the blocks today, but you can use anything that would resemble a block, but not super hard, has a little give to it, but obviously has some support. All right, the class is open to all levels as always, so any yogi is welcome to this class, and there are variations to lots of the postures if you're finding them a little tricky to get in of, or into, I should say. So yeah, I think that's about it. We're going to start with our meditation and then get right into practice. So whenever you feel ready, get into that comfortable position for yourself. Especially that we're doing a yin practice today, get comfy. It doesn't have to look like a perfect seated meditation. It can be laying down onto your back, it can be on your tummy, it can be on your side, it can be really anywhere you want to be. The only place I don't suggest you go is a child's pose, because that is one of our yin postures that we will head into today. So I just don't want you to overdo it in that posture. But besides that, yogi's choice, getting nice and comfortable, and closing down the eyes. Let that breath become audible. Really releasing any stress, releasing any tension. Release the worry. You've already shown up for yourself. You've already rolled out your mat. Allow yourself to just be for 60 minutes. You've made the choice to be here, to carve out the time. So make the best of the time. Be as present as you can be with the breath and the body. Allowing everything else just to fade away. And just scanning through the body, gently observing how pieces of the body feel. Starting at the tips of your toes and working your way all the way to the top of your head. And along the journey, if you encounter places that may have some tension or strain, use your breath. Send your breath to that area of the body. Work through it and continue on. If it feels appropriate for you to set an intention, to say a prayer, gesture, or a mantra, coming into the space to do so. Leaving the hands where they are, or bringing palms together at your heart center for Anjali Mudra. Releasing the hands when you feel complete, and just starting to wake up the body by moving the fingers and the toes. Small little movements. And when you're ready, we are going to briefly come into a seated position. Just going to invite some movement into that upper body. So moving the shoulders in both directions. Dropping the neck to the shoulders. And as you inhale, bringing an ear to a shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. And inhale, the other ear to shoulder. We aren't going to hold, we're just warming up the body. Using your breath to go side to side. One more time in each direction. Coming into that neutral head. Okay, we're going to come into our first yin posture of the practice. We are going to come into a child's pose. So this can look however you want, with as many props or blankets as you want. So we're going to bring the big toe mounds together. And keep in mind, we are going to be holding this for about 3 to 4 minutes. So you want to get nice and comfortable. The knees can be as far apart as the edges of your mat or as close together as touching. And then from there, you're going to walk yourself forward, connecting the forehead down to your mat. Okay, you can have a pillow or a blanket or a bolster underneath the torso if that feels good for you. And just taking note, if you do have one side of the head down onto the mat or a pillow or a bolster, that we will switch sides about halfway through. And every time we land into a yin posture, we allow three things to cross through our mind: depth, stillness, and time. The depth of which you're holding the posture, so that threshold. So making sure that you're feeling what's happening, but you're not overwhelmed by the feeling of what's happening. Because we want to be able to find the stillness in the body and be able to hold the posture for the allotted amount of time. And once you've found that depth and stillness, allow yourself to surrender to the breath. If you have one of the ears connected down to the mat, switching sides. All right, if you were using any props underneath you, we're slowly going to remove those and set them over to the side. Coming back down for that child's pose. We're going to work into the side body. So we're going to inhale up onto those fingertips, and then we're going to walk our hands over to that right edge of our mat. And then we're going to walk ourselves back down, getting into that left side body. And if there are feelings of tension or discomfort, using your breath to work through the ick, stick with the breath. All right, when you're ready, inhale back up onto the fingertips. Walk yourself to center. Come back down just for one breath. And on the next inhale, coming back up, and we'll go over to that left side, and then we'll walk ourselves all the way back down. Just surrendering. On the next inhale, come up onto the fingertips, walking back to center, releasing yourself back down for that final breath. Coming into all fours, take it nice and slow. You're in that child's pose for quite a while. And once you've landed into that all fours position, just extending one leg back at a time if that feels good. Or maybe a few cat-cows feel nice. Really, in between these yin postures, we just take as many intuitive movements as we need, listening to the body and what feels good. And what I'm offering is just suggestions and what I know feels good in my body. Okay, I'm going to turn sideways just to show you our next postures. We aren't going to hold them for too long, so no stress. But we do forget about these parts of the body too often in yoga, so I wanted to make sure we included them really quick. So we are going to tuck the toes, make sure the knees are nice and close together. Okay, make sure all 10 of those toes are tucked. If you've practiced with me before, you know where we're headed. So make sure you got your breath, make sure you have your intention, and when you're ready, walk your hands back towards those knees, sitting onto the heels, and if you can, bringing yourself up and the hands up onto the thighs. We're coming in for a nice intense toe stretch. So I just looked at the clock. We're going to be here for a whole minute if we can. So closing down the breath and, closing down the eyes and just focusing in on the breath. One more breath. Then as you exhale, bring those hands out in front of you. Again, nice and slow. We may have only been there for a minute, but that was intense on the toes. Untucking them, maybe giving them a gentle pat down onto the mat. I'm trying to be quiet because I have my baby sleeping, so I'm not going to pat them down too loud. All right, we're going to keep the knees nice and close together. This time the toes are untucked flat onto the mat. And then we're going to walk the hands back just as we did before, but now they're beside us. And when you're ready, I want you to start to lift up those knees. So we're coming in for an ankle stretch. If you have any props, you can put them underneath the knee. So I'm using a block, but you can use a pillow or a blanket, whatever works for you. And then having the hands to support you behind you. Now, if you have lots of props, you can also put a pillow or a bolster behind you to rest the elbows on, making sure we keep the chest nice and open. Close down the eyes, surrendering into that breath. One more breath. With your next inhale, bringing yourself up. If you were leaning back, removing any props beneath the knees you may have placed. Nice and slow, connect those knees down. Coming back into that all fours, and once again, maybe stretching out the legs nice and long. Okay, we're going to land back into a seated position. We're going to have the legs out nice and long. We're going to come in for caterpillar. So I'm going to turn once again sideways. It's just a little bit easier for me to show you the postures and the alignment. So we want to make sure we're sitting nice and square in the hips, and we're sitting as tall as possible to start the posture. If you need to be sitting on a bolster or a pillow, you can definitely do that. You can bring a bolster or a pillow out in front on top of your legs to lean into. If you need more support, you can always use a block underneath a pillow or a bolster just to kind of like give you that kickstand of support. And if you really want to get yinny with it, you can put the bolster underneath or pillow underneath your knees and really give yourself that support and then come in. So this is the way I'm going to choose because I need a lot of release happening into the body today. So we're always going to enter the posture with a long spine. So again, sitting up straight, and as we exhale, we move forward into the posture, finding that threshold with a long spine first. Okay, found it. Now when you're ready, great big inhale, and exhale, we'll tuck the chin, rounding into the posture, really giving in. Doing any adjusting that you may need to do. And surrendering in from there. Find the stillness. Breathing in, calming your body. And breathing out, letting a smile fall across your face. Dwelling in the present moment. You know this is a wonderful moment. Breathing in, calm. Breathing out, smile. Present moment. Wonderful moment. With your next inhale, walking yourself back up, removing any props that you may have been using, connecting the soles of the feet down, and we'll just wash the legs out. Okay, we're now going to come in for a wide-legged forward fold or straddle. So the legs are going out nice and wide like a pizza slice. Try and have those heels down and toes are pointing up. Again, any props you need, you can use any pillows or blankets under the knees, out in front of you. And again, if you do have those traditional yoga props, you can use a block underneath that bolster and just kind of fold yourself in, however that may look, okay? So when you're ready, same thing as we did before. We're entering in with a nice long spine to start. Very big inhale. And we exhale. We're just simply going to hinge forward to find that threshold that we can hold. And as you exhale, tuck the chin, coming in a little bit deeper to the posture. And simply find your breath. Breathing in, calm. Breathing out, smile. Present moment. Wonderful moment. Let's take 3 more big breaths. When you're ready, walk yourself back up. Setting any of the props over to the side. Once again, bringing those knees in and just windshield wiping the legs back and forth. Okay, come back into that seated position. We're now going to come in for a half butterfly. So we were in, basically our legs were open before, so now we're keeping one leg open and we're tucking that left leg, and this time we're going to keep the right leg straight. I'm going to give you 2 options here. So you can rotate the torso so you're in line with that right leg, and you can bring any props that you have and set them up on top of the leg, beside the leg, just kind of hugging in. Okay, whatever feels good. We're not going to hold this one too long, about 12 breaths. If you want to come in for more of a side body stretch, laying the arm on top or beside that right leg, and we're going to sweep the left arm over. So this is a variation I'm going to take, but of course take whatever feels good for you. And when you're ready, Surrendering into the breath, the stillness. Okay, when you're ready, inhale up. Set that left hand behind the left glute. Sweep your right hand in front of you. Push that pelvis forward for a nice back bend. Come back down. We'll switch out those legs. Same thing on this side. Try a few options. This side of the body is going to feel different than the other side, so have that grace with yourself and with your body. And when you're ready, coming in for whatever feels good for you. And it doesn't have to be the same option you took on the other side either. And wherever you've landed, close down the eyes. You can do this. 12 breaths. On your next inhale, slowly come up. Placing that right hand behind the right glute. Sweep that left hand around and back for that nice back bend. Coming back to center. Bring both legs in. We are going to come in for pigeon now. So I'm going to demonstrate the laying version. There is the seated version, which will look just like this. Okay, so if you want to stay seated, you can do this. If you're going to come into the laying option like me, I find the best way to get into pigeon is a down dog. If you have a better way of getting into it for yourself, please do that. And if you want to follow me, please go ahead and do that. So we'll come into a down dog, just really brief, maybe pedal out the legs if that feels nice for you. And then we're going to lift our right leg up. And we're going to bring the right knee towards the right wrist and the right ankle towards that left wrist. Straightening out that back leg, nice and long. I have to grab my book. Okay, so we want to try and keep that front shin parallel to the front edge of our mat, using any props if you have them or want to use them. Using an inhale to fill the body and an exhale to walk yourself forward and down. Again, finding that threshold where you can find the stillness. Nice big breaths. We have 10 more breaths. All right, wherever you've landed, if you're in the seated version, just unwinding the legs and windshield washing them back and forth. If you're with me, walking up onto those hands, tuck the back toes, sending your right leg up and through. Open up those hips. All right, setting down that right leg, lifting up the left leg, and we'll come in for pigeon on the left. If you're in that seated version, just bringing the opposite leg on top, switching sides. Take that great big inhale and exhale to walk yourself forward. Great big inhale and exhale. Settling into that stillness, allowing the chin to tuck. Relax the face. Growing and changing isn't always easy. Transformation never is. There will be moments that will break your heart, and there will be days where you reach your breaking point. There will be times when you can't hold on any longer, but you do hold on longer. Know that you are in the process of becoming. Trust that you are changing and growing and becoming so much stronger. Know that you are transforming from the inside out into who you are meant to become. It might take time, and it might bring you to your knees at times, but it will all be worth it. It always is. Taking 10 more breaths here. Wherever you've landed, walking yourself up, unwinding the legs, windshield wiping the legs, or sending that left leg up and through and opening up the hip. And we're going to land back into that seated position. And then we're going to actually make our way onto our tummies. Okay. So our first posture we're going to come into on our tummy is Sphinx. So what that looks like is our elbows are just right underneath the shoulders. The hands are out nice and wide. The feet are laying out nice and flat and the legs are long. And we're going to take a great big inhale. Lifting the head up, opening up the chest. As you exhale, settling in here. Feeling all the feels in the low back. If at any point it gets too intense, feel free to just tuck that chin towards your chest. Three more breaths. So take your next exhale, bringing your left ear down towards the mat. The arms are just resting out to the side in a cactus position. And then I want you to bring your right knee up towards your right elbow. Still on the floor. This is half frog. Releasing that low back. On your next exhale, straightening out that right leg, back nice and long. And we will come to center. Okay, so we're going to come into Sphinx again, or if you're looking for a little bit more, you can come into Seal. So that's going to look like straightening the front arm. So that's going to make it a little bit more intense into that low back. So just taking whatever you would like. Take an inhale and we exhale to surrender in. Stay connected to the breath. We're going to take 3 more breaths. With that next exhale, bringing yourself down nice and gentle. That left ear connecting down, that right ear connecting down to the mat. Cactusing those arms out in a T position. Then bringing your left leg up when you feel ready. And remember, all parts of the body are connected to the floor. We're just bringing that leg out to the side and up. your next exhale, straightening out your leg. Coming back to center, we're going to land into a seated position to come into our last few postures. Okay, so when we land into our seated position, we're going to bring the feet together, those soles of the feet together. The knees are out to the side. You can have blocks underneath the legs. You can have pillows underneath the legs. You can have a bolster or a pillow right in front of you. Really, whatever feels good. And we're going to come forward. So keeping the spine nice and long. And then we're going to exhale ourselves forward and down. Great big inhale, followed by a nice big exhale. May today there be peace within. May you trust that you are exactly where you are meant to be. May you not forget the infinite possibilities that are born of faith in yourself and others. May you use the gifts that you have received and pass on the love that has been given to you. May you be content with yourself just the way you are. Let this knowledge settle into your bones and allow your soul the freedom to sing, dance, praise, and love. It is in there for each and every one of us. Mother Teresa. Settling in here for 10 more breaths. When you're ready, walking yourself back up. Bring those knees in together. Give them a nice windshield wash back and forth. Turning sideways just so I can show you the next posture. Now, if you don't have a bolster or a pillow, I do suggest getting a blanket and just rolling it up in a cylinder shape for this last posture that we're going to come into. So we're going to do the same posture we just did, but we're going to recline ourselves. So bringing that pillow, bolster, or blanket that you've rolled up to that low back, keeping the legs where they were, so the soles of the feet are together and the knees are out to either side. And then when you're ready, laying yourself down and back, letting that chest become nice and open. Big release of breath. And let yourself surrender here for our breath. Saying first to yourself, may I feel protected and safe. May my heart remain open. May I awaken to the light of my true nature. May I be healed and be a source of healing for the world. Now, thinking of someone that it's so easy to love. Draw this person close to your heart and your mind and send this to them. May you feel protected and safe. May your heart remain open. May you awaken to the light of your truest nature. May you be healed and be a source of healing for the world. Next, thinking of someone who needs a little more love. Draw this person close to your heart and your mind and send this to them. May you feel protected and safe. May your heart remain open. May you awaken to the light of your truest nature. May you be healed and be a source of healing for the world. And lastly, to all beings everywhere, may we feel protected and safe. May our hearts remain open. May we awaken to the light of our truest nature. May we be healed and be a source of healing for the world. All right, we're going to bring those knees together, rolling off any prop you may have been on nice and gently, removing that from beneath you. Laying the legs out nice and long and finding a closing posture that feels good for you. So if that's a twist on either side, a happy baby, a waterfall, whatever that looks like for you, taking that and then finding your Savasana. And when you find your Savasana, allow those legs to be out nice and long and the feet to either side and the hands out, palms facing up to receive energy and palms are facing down for grounding. You can always bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly if that's what feels most appropriate for you. And as always, I will be here watching the time and bringing the energy back into the space when the time is right. So until then, just relax. Allow yourself these last few minutes to relax and be. And allow your breath to take you away. And starting to slowly bring the energy back into the body with small movements of the fingers and the toes. Maybe rolling the wrists and the ankles. Reaching the arms out or above the head nice and long, and the legs out nice and long. Maybe hugging the knees in towards the chest and rocking side to side. And just really feeling the breath and feeling the body. And then when it feels right for you, choosing to roll over to the right or the left-hand side of the room. Your right side representing relaxation and your left representing energy. As always, taking that as a chance to reset, restart, renew. To take what you learned about yourself and your body on your mat today and take it out into the world. When you're ready, coming up into a seated position, trying your best to keep those eyes closed if you can. But of course, if you can't, that's okay. Hands rested where they feel most comfortable. It feels good bringing those palms to heart center, going for it. All right, we're going to take one big breath to close our practice together. When you're ready, inhaling through the nose. Nice big audible exhale through the mouth. May the sun bring you new energy by day. May the moon softly restore you by night. May the rain wash away your worries. And may the breeze blow new strength into your being. May you walk gently through this world and know the beauty all the days of your life. An Apache blessing. With all of my light and all of my love, and always humbly in your service. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me once again. It is an honor to have you here, and I am so grateful to have you as a member of Oh My Dharma. So thank you so much. Like and share with your friends. Stay tuned on the newsletter for all things that are up and coming, and giveaways and blog posts and all fun things. Of course, if you liked the class, let me know. If you want to see more yin or other styles, let me know. I'm here to serve you the best that I can. I hope you have the best rest of your day, whether that's morning, afternoon, or evening, and we will see you again soon. Bye-bye.